Picture this. A massive geopolitical headline drops out of absolutely nowhere, or maybe a surprise late-night tweet from a president hits the wire. Boom! Instantly, the stock market just explodes. Well, today in this explainer, we're basically doing a forensic, true crime autopsy on one of these sudden market spikes. We want to uncover what actually happens behind the scenes. So, you might want to forget everything you think you know about buyers and sellers. We're going minute by minute to expose the market matrix for what it really is.
Plus $2.98. That right there is the staggering amount the SPY, the massive S&P 500 ETF, jumped in a single, totally chaotic 60-second window back on June 11th. Now, to put that in perspective, in the grand scheme of the market, a $3 move, that usually takes hours, sometimes even days of steady, back-and-forth trading to materialize. But this? No way. This whole thing played out in 60 seconds flat.
Okay, so let's dive right into the crime scene. It's exactly 1:29 p.m. and a news headline hits the wire. Instantly, volume absolutely explodes to 1.33 million shares. That is literally 10 times the normal volume. The price just goes practically vertical. Now, you're probably picturing a chaotic trading floor, right? Guys in suits yelling, phones ringing off the hook. But the reality? It's actually far, far more robotic than that.
So, you gotta ask yourself, exactly who pressed the button to cause this massive jump? I mean, it's totally natural to assume some billionaire just made a massive trade, or a huge hedge fund decided to dump billions into the market all at once. But the mind-bending truth here? Nobody actually sat there and manually pushed the price up. There's no guys sitting in a back room with a dial setting the price of the SPY. The crazy plot twist is that the quote-unquote price is kind of an illusion. To actually solve this mystery, we have to understand the fundamental core of the whole system, which is the order book. Like I said, no guy with a dial. Instead, there's just this order book acting like a giant, highly automated matchmaking service. Sellers post their offers, which are called asks, and buyers post their bids, and they just rest there waiting. The current price of any stock is really just the last handshake between those two sides. The exchange computer just automatically matches them up based on the best price first and whoever got there earliest. And that's it. That is literally the entire market.
So right before the chaos breaks out, at 1:28 p.m., the market is in this completely peaceful standoff. You've got sellers stacked up at the top, asking for higher prices. Buyers are chilling at the bottom, waiting for lower ones. And right in the middle, that's the spread. It's all very orderly. So how on earth does this peaceful standoff suddenly gap $3 into the stratosphere?
Well, when a big headline hits, the market reprices in two totally different ways. The first is what we call the sweep. This is where a news algorithm fires off a massive market order, essentially screaming, "Fill me now," at any price. It acts like a giant Pac-Man, violently chomping through 900 shares, then 1,400, then 1,700. But the far crazier effect? That's mechanism number two, the vanishing act. Guys, this is pure magic. The literal microsecond that headline hits, market makers instantly cancel all their resting quotes. Poof, gone. The book is empty. Zero actual trades happen, but they instantly repost their offers $3 higher.
You really have to realize that this whole ecosystem is entirely dominated by servers, algorithms, and speed demons acting as the ultimate insiders. Let's look at the hierarchy here. At the very top, you have the referee. These are the exchange matching engines sitting in cold New Jersey data centers. Then the quote machines, huge market makers constantly quoting both sides all day for literal pennies. Below them are the speed demons, high-frequency trading algos buying machine-readable news feeds, parsing the headlines, and trading them in microseconds. And finally, way down at the bottom, there are the whales. And well, you. We are what Coach Zubair hilariously calls the push notification demographic.
To really put this speed into perspective, sure, humans write the strategies, but computers are doing all the clicking. The physical limit of a human blink takes about 300 milliseconds, right? Now, when that geopolitical headline hit the wire at 1:29 p.m., the algorithmic reading, the mass cancellation of orders, and the total repricing of the entire market, it was completely over in just 5 milliseconds. That means the entire $3 price movement happened way faster than human vision. You literally blinked through it.
When you put all of this together, it builds an absolutely, almost comically unfair timeline. Okay, at 0 milliseconds, the headline hits. At 2 milliseconds, the algos have already parsed it and canceled their quotes. By 50 milliseconds, the book is reposted higher and the price is officially gapped. A couple of seconds later, TV anchors start reading the news. It actually takes a full 90 seconds for your phone to even buzz with a news alert. And maybe, just maybe, at 5 minutes, you open your app and think, "Oh, wow, it's up, I should buy." But the algorithm successfully gapped the price a full 89 seconds before you even knew the event happened.
So by the time you actually pull up that chart on your phone, the dramatic move has already materialized. It jumps straight from 729 to 732 in an absolute flash. The gap itself was the entire move. It wasn't some slow build of retail enthusiasm. No, it was an instantaneous, algorithmic teleportation.
It's brutal, but the harsh reality for retail investors is that you are basically bringing a human thumb to a microsecond robot fight. It is your physical thumb going up against a liquid-cooled supercomputer sitting in a rack in Secaucus, New Jersey. If you try to day trade the news by reacting to notifications on your screen, I promise you the server is going to win. Every single time.
But hey, don't panic, because you can absolutely protect yourself simply by refusing to play their game. So how do you actually win? First up, always use limit orders. Dropping a market order during a crazy minute is basically writing a blank check to a high-frequency algorithm. A limit order means you dictate the maximum price you are willing to pay. Second, don't trade the chaos minutes. Jumping in right when a headline drops is really just paying a panic tax to the machines. Third, avoid margin. Leverage just turns a scary headline into a forced sell at the absolute bottom. And remember, your superpower is time, not speed. Let the robots win the millisecond. You just need to win over a decade by staying invested.
So if you want to survive this constant barrage of news, Coach Zubair has these 3 golden rules to keep you from becoming the victim of a late panic trade. Rule number 1, never chase the spike. Just don't do it. Rule number 2, volume is your lie detector. A massive price move on tiny volume? That can vanish just as quickly because nobody committed real money to it. And rule number 3, accept that a news app is not a competitive edge. If your big trading edge is a CNBC notification buzzing in your pocket, well, you have no edge.
There's this brutally true, kind of hilarious analogy for this. The gap means the news is already priced in. Buying a stock at 1:34 p.m. is exactly like paying full price for yesterday's samosa. Chasing a headline spike 5 minutes after the machines have already repriced the market is simply volunteering to buy stale goods at a massive premium. The headline didn't take your money. Actually, scratch that. Your late panic trade at 1:31 p.m. did.
This right here is the ultimate mindset shift you need to make as an investor. A stock jumping $3 doesn't automatically mean millions of dollars were spent buying it. As we saw with the Vanishing Act, it just means the automated systems instantly agreed the old price was wrong, they canceled their orders, and set up shop $3 higher. It is a mutual agreement among machines, not necessarily a buying frenzy.
As we wrap up this explainer, you really need to ask yourself a serious question. Markets move at machine speed, sure, but your financial plan shouldn't. Do you really want to keep competing against billion-dollar algorithms in New Jersey, or are you finally ready to step off the racetrack, invest boringly, and let compounding time do the heavy lifting for you? The machines own the milliseconds. Just make sure you own the decades.